Record.
Baby, I get a little bit jealous, but how the hell can I help it when I'm thinking on you? Maybe I might get a little reckless, but you gotta expect it. What else can a boy do? My mama taught me how to share, but I be selfish and I don't care, 'cause I want you, I need you all for me. I don't want anybody loving my baby. Nobody, nobody, nobody but me. I don't want anybody thinking just maybe. Nobody, nobody, nobody but me. And I know when you got a lovely lady, it might drive the boys crazy when she's looking so fine. Oh, I know, no one ever would blame me. The only thing that could save me is just knowing you're mine.
That part for 15 years, I fixed it myself the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
We're talking about how warm and cozy it is in the conference room here because the heat is on for the first time in a long time.
There's a good
Feels
song.
good.
The heat is on.
The heat is
You know the song?
Yeah, just like that.
Beverly
If
Hills
you were here, you'd be feeling it. You'd be feeling like nice fall energy.
So toasty.
But good morning to everyone on Zoom and good morning to you guys here. If you're here, Jill, come up for a sec. Bring some of your treats to show the people on Zoom what they're not getting for not being here. Yeah. She worked from Elevation Transaction Services. Brought treats today. Fun little Halloween treats for everyone here. So if you're gonna be in the office later, stop by and see Jill and get a little treat.
Little trick or treat action.
Trick or treat.
Mm-hmm.
We're only a few weeks away. Get your costumes. Yes. Wait, you gotta come up here to say hi to the people on Zoom.
Yeah.
You have to get on the camera and
Thanks.
say,
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so
Jill's
many good stuff in here.
Getting on the camera. Say hello and show everyone your treats. Hey.
It's a great collection too.
Oh my gosh, this is look how
Solid
cute.
collection of candy here.
You're missing out if you're not in the office, so come by and get some.
Awesome. Yeah, so come by, see Jill and Angela and say hello.
Yeah, we're excited. We'd love to meet more people and get to help more people out. So come by and talk to us. Thank
Cool.
you.
I'd like
Thanks.
to get time and close more transactions with them.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. So later today at 1:30, Jael is hosting the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book Club. So this is exciting. This is the first, there was the intro meeting last week just to kind of get ready. And then this is the first discussion of the book. And even if you missed last week, you should go. It is right in the front conference room number 1 with the big windows. And it'll just be a casual discussion about Millionaire Real Estate Agents. So be there. And if you go and commit to going, we'll give you a free book so you can read it and collaborate. Thanks,
Good
Jim, for
information.
hosting that.
Lots of good information.
Then this week we have Ignite. Tomorrow, Christy Hill is teaching session 9 and 10. Capture more leads and keep every lead, which is important in this market. So that is tomorrow, 9 to 11. And again, anyone is welcome to attend.
And is she on the LC too?
Yes,
Mhm.
Christy, if you do not know Christy Hill, she works out of our Newburgh office, so you might not see her in person a lot, but she is the chair of our ALC Culture Committee. So she helps plan all the events and all like the giving back things that we do in the year. Okay, and then Pay One is going to teach session 11 and 12, follow up with leads and strengthen relationships. So we have a good lineup of strong ladies this week. So that is Thursday, and in this room, come hear from them. And then, wow, we do have a good week of action. That is Peter Clark. He's going to be talking about pricing in a declining market, part 2. And this is Thursday at 11. So it'll be right after Ignite. And this is similar to what he taught, like when he taught part 1, but the market is changing. And if you know Peter by now, you know he loves data. And when you're looking at all of the spreadsheets and the data of the numbers of the market, it makes it really hard to debate that, right? So when you're talking to your clients and you have the strength of all those numbers, or when you're talking, to your clients and just figuring out how to price things and write offers, just having that data can make you feel a lot more confident. So Peter will be digging in on that, an hour-long class, 11 to 12 in here. And then the Portland chapter of the KW Young, that's okay. Okay, so Dwight is teaching this class. No, wait, he's not teaching this, is he?
Solar financing.
Oh, you're teaching this October 25th next week?
That's our Tuesday meeting.
Oh, right. That's our meeting. I'm like, wait, you're teaching this? Yes, in this meeting, he's going to be teaching us about seller financing. It's kind of like a follow-up to last week when we were talking with Chad and Joshua Academy Mortgage about all the different loan products that we need to refamiliarize ourselves with. Dwight's going to go into seller financing and when and how to use it to your advantage. So that'll be next week.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
I would like been in the business for 20 some odd years, 23, 25, my gosh,
Mhm.
long time. I've never done a seller financing deal, and that's not because the opportunity presented itself. I didn't present the opportunity. After hearing what you said the other day, I was really really opened my eyes. Really never I thought about all the complications of it, and I thought of seller financing as carrying the whole loan. But then when you start thinking about maybe a little second at the end, and then there's a second loan to make it more appealing. Anyways, it blew my mind. It's this is a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
You'll get more. I bet you could do 1 or 2 more deals a year at least by carrying this around in your pocket this upcoming year. Maybe
Mhm.
who knows what the market is? If it gets crazy, you could do 12 more deals a year by doing this. I think it's really.
Mhm.
I think
Well,
we should all really pay attention to this.
Yeah, I remember when interest rates went, I was working full-time in my 20s as in age, when interest rates.
In the 1920s.
18%. And 80% of our deals were seller financing, right? And you had to be really, really creative. So I'm going to talk about seller first trust deeds, first land sales contracts, and second trust deeds, and what they call all-inclusive trust deeds, which I know none of you have ever heard of because we haven't seen any for a while. And we're going to start using them again, folks. And it's going to it could be 2 or 3 extra deals, maybe more than that a year, which is, all the difference between waking up every morning knowing your bills are paid and waking up in the morning knowing that you don't have anything to pay your bills in 2 weeks. So anyway, I'm excited about the way it's coming together and what I've remembered, how you get in the flow of thinking. That's right. So anyway, I think it's going to be good.
An extra
stuff.
3 sales at our price point is what, an extra $45,000, $50,000 a year?
Yeah.
I could use that.
Yeah, it covers your overhead.
Yep. Okay. Next slide, Austin. Okay. We'll stop. I won't be here next week, so it's good. You'll take,
Well,
We'll talk
I think
full
I'm
time.
gonna convert it to a class and we'll just do it once a month going into next year.
okay.
Just like the shift.
I love it.
Yeah, because I think I'm coming up with more, way more than what I can include in the meeting next week. Surprised? Are you surprised?
No. Austin, I'm just gonna talk while you do that. So a couple things coming up, the November 4th and 5th, the KW Young Professionals. Chapter launch is November 4th and 5th. And if you have questions about this, ask Austin Ramey and Austin Bean. And because it is like an all-day thing where there's like panels, and Bradley King's gonna be on the panel and Kylie from the Fox team's gonna be on the panel. But that's for the young professionals, KW. So ask Austin and Austin if you have questions. Okay,
Do we know where that's at?
Yes, we have details rolling out this week. We're gonna have a little campaign. We're gonna send that information out. It's getting finalized for a couple things. We know that it's going to be the actual Friday is gonna be at, like, in this place called the Mill. It's huge venue up near Beaverton, Hillsborough area. We have confirmed Cody Gibson is gonna be there, and then there's another MAPS coach, mega agent that's gonna also, so we are only get two, we were only anticipating one, but we're able to get two MAPS coaches in there, and a panelist of 6 young professional agents in the Portland area as well. So we have about 8 speakers. It'll be good. It'll be really good, and a happy hour afterwards as well. So all that will be thrown out there.
awesome. More details coming soon. And if you just have questions about the KW Young Professionals, they can answer those for you as well.
Austin, do you know if they can invite guests from outside of Keller Williams?
They can. There is a ticket, there's an admission fee for non-members of KYP, and only Keller Williams agents can be members of young professionals, but if people are interested, it's a $50 admission for this to cover the costs of like food and things like that. But yeah, like anybody can come, go. They don't have to be young professionals necessarily, even at Keller Williams.
You can be old professionals supporting our
Yeah.
young.
Well,
professionals.
it's silver.
Yeah, I like to go.
Well,
I
if
think
I had a
I'm
young,
going to go.
if I had a young professional that was interested in this information, I can tell you, I would put $50 to have them come.
Yeah.
Because if they came to KW, it would be well worth it.
Mhm,
So.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think about
more details coming soon on that. Okay, save the date. Friday, December 16th. Our holiday party. And I know that time of year gets very busy. So we just wanted to throw it out there now. It's gonna be at St. Irene's where we had it 2 years ago, right down the street. And it will be a good time. So more details coming soon, but save the date on your calendars because it is such a fun time to bring your spouses or significant others and just celebrate the year and the holidays together.
Kids.
If you want, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not, if you want, yeah.
No, it's really,
It's not really kid friendly. It's more like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cocktails and appetizers and dancing and that kind of vibe.
Mhm.
But if that's the only way you can attend,
Bring your children.
bring a kid as a date, but otherwise probably no. And then now we're on to our main speaker of the day. Andrew Anderson once again is back. Hi, Andrew. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. And Andrew, just to remind everyone, he is a life transformation and business productivity coach. And he's going to talk to us about our 2020 vision for 2023, like 2020 vision, not like the year, how to raise our sights and achieve new heights. So Andrew, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you so much for being with us. Go ahead and take it away.
You're welcome. You're my favorite Keller Williams Market Center in Portland. I love spending time with you guys.
Thank you. That makes us happy.
Yeah, and it was awesome to spend some time with you guys last month, and it's great to be with you this month. You already know, Austin's like, Andrew wants to see the people. I want to wave to all of you there that are in the building. Hello. And all of you Zoom people, if you want to wave to me as well, which is really waving to yourself because I can't see you. It's awesome to spend some time together. And I want to thank again Dwight, who is becoming a fast friend of mine who I met almost a year ago. And he and I have been in contact, and I am just grateful for you. I'm grateful for Lisa. You are salt of the earth, and it's been such a privilege to get to know you and your family as well, and to be able to spend time with your awesome market center. You guys have a great thing going. Anyone that is following in the footsteps or riding the wake of the Schwab family, they're usually pretty great people. So Dwight, thank you for allowing me to be with you guys today.
Okay, so thank you for the amazing plug, but I will make one for you. My oldest son, Marcus, engaged with Andrew, and he was in the process of changing jobs. He didn't like the company he was at. And he was interviewing with multiple companies. He got 2 job offers, and Lisa and I were having conversations with him about what he thought he was worth. And we were kind of concerned. And so I sent a text to Andrew and said, Andrew, please talk to Marcus, because I think he's worth a lot more than he's thinking he is. And he talked him up, and my son got the job with a 50% raise from what he's currently making. Thank you. Life
That's a good story.
changing for sure.
You're
That will
welcome.
change his life.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the next year or so, he'll be making 50% more than that, I can assure you.
Cool.
We love that. We do not recommend anyone here change jobs, but we do recommend Andrew's advice and life coaching.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Dwight. And I got to give a big shout out to JL. JL, I can see you. There you are. JL, I need you to come up here for just a moment. Awesome. I'm going to make you turn the camera. If you didn't know, JL was so stinking courageous and so vulnerable last time. She came up and we did a really deep dive in a one-on-one. And let's all give one more big round of applause to JL. She is so awesome. Give her a big round of applause. JL, we sat here and we had a heart-to-heart, a come to Jesus, if you want to call it that, a month ago. And can you just share with these people what has happened since then that has sparked some life for your world right now? Will you just share?
Yeah, I really appreciate your time. You were very kind. And when I volunteered at the meeting last time that you spoke, you then said you'd spend some time with me. And I sat out in the parking lot in my car, and for 45 minutes, you coached me. And we kind of talked about the big areas of my life and what I felt was something that was really holding me back. And for me, it was kind of how I reacted to food. And I felt like if I couldn't be disciplined with food or other parts of health in my life, how could I possibly be disciplined in a career or other areas of my life that were important? And we targeted a particular emotion that caused guilt for me and caused some self-destructive behavior. And I no longer have that emotion. And when it comes, I know, oh my gosh,
Wow.
I didn't even know that something like that was possible. But when I find myself in the same situation today as I used to before we talked, for me, it's just a totally different thought process. And there's no self-destructive behavior, which means me sitting with the half gallon of ice cream instead of just having a little cup, you know? For me, it was emotional.
Yeah.
And it became like I was doing something bad, like I was doing something wrong, like I was misbehaving. And so I had guilt associated with that. And then I would kind of just get into this, well, screw it, I'm eating the whole thing, you know, and so it was not healthy for me. So now when I'm in those same positions or I want ice cream, it's not that I can't have ice cream. It's just that I'm smart about it rather than self-destructive about it. And I've actually lost 3 pounds since we talked. So
That's awesome.
it's a little tiny bit, but I haven't made any changes except for, you know, the emotional changes that you were able to facilitate for me. So
Absolutely. And it's a miracle because we know we've been trained well at Keller Williams. We know that logic makes us think and emotion makes us act, right? That we know that. And yet we don't recognize the unconscious emotions that are holding us back from getting what it is that we truly want. And then we talked about last time in this group that most of us are moving away from the things that we don't want rather than moving towards what we want. And I told the story about my little boy, Brody, look at the tree, keep pedaling. So JL, thank you so much. You are I mean, you are inspiring. You breathe life into, right? You give others hope. Your story is just a small spark, like Marcus's, that we can attain a lot of greater things if we can just understand what's going on behind the scenes. So for those of you that were with us last month, today will be nothing like that. Last month was deep. It was like super profound. Today is going to be deep and profound on a different topic. I'm going to do a little screen share with you here, and give me a thumbs up if you can see that little superhero. Give me a thumbs up. All right, we've got a superhero. And what I want to talk about today is how we can raise our sights and achieve new heights, not just in 2023, like when everyone else is doing their New Year's resolutions and goals, saying like, how can we do that now? And how can we take that kind of vision through the end of the fourth quarter into 2023? Now, for those of you that didn't hear my introduction last time, I'll give you a shortened version of that today. My name is Andrew Anderson, and I am a business productivity and life transformation coach. But before that, every day when I wake up, I'm a husband, and I'm also a father of 6 children with 1 on the way. Yes, we do know how that process works, and child number 7 was intentionally planned. There's 5 years between this little one that's coming and our son before that. People often say, you do know, don't you, how that all works? And yeah, we are well aware. We got this down, I promise. We know how it works. So I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a coach. I'm also a friend and a mentor. I am going to be a published author on January 31st. My manuscript is in the hands of my publisher as we speak today. And I've put the money down and the book's coming out. I'm going to be doing retreats. I'm going to be doing keynote speeches, and there's a lot of exciting things. And I'm just super grateful that we get to talk about something that is powerful to me. So Muhammad Ali, I love this man. I think he's incredible. And we know the quote, we've seen it all over. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see. When I think about people that aren't attaining a level of achievement or success or fulfillment in their lives, I always think about vision first. Are they able to see what it is that they want to hit in terms of a goal? And this is a gentleman that brought Dwight and I together named Kevin Hall. Kevin is a very dear friend. I talk to him often. I texted him just yesterday, and he wrote this book called Aspire, which is discovering your purpose through the power of words. Kevin Hall, in his book, introduces this gentleman. Does anyone have a clue who this is? Now, let's just take some funny random guesses. Go ahead, yell it out. Who do you think this is? Yahweh. No. Keep guessing. Rasputin. No. This is Leonardo da Vinci. This is Leonardo da Vinci. And Leonardo was important to me because I loved the Ninja Turtles growing up in the 90s. We can thank Leonardo da Vinci for Leonardo the Ninja Turtle. Not really. But I'm going to read to you from Kevin Hall's book, Aspire. And I want to share a very powerful principle that Leonardo da Vinci introduced us to. And here's what Kevin says. Perhaps no one in history personified this belief better than Leonardo da Vinci. What belief, you ask? When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. It's a bold law. Leonardo da Vinci, the great Italian artist, inventor, scientist, and designer who foresaw the future hundreds of years ahead of his time. His novel way of looking at things would, in due course, open up a whole new world of air and sea exploration, while at the same time, Christopher Columbus, his fellow countryman, was opening up another new world with his discovery of America. Far beyond being the brilliant artist who painted the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and numerous other enduring masterpieces, Da Vinci was also a master innovator. With his keen mind's eye, he looked at all around him from unprecedented angles. He studied the genius and simple economy of nature, the way birds fly, the flow of the tides, the human form and its symmetry, with virtually nothing escaping his unique gaze. In his studio, he left behind his collection of codices, detailed notes and drawings of inventions that centuries later became the bicycle, the glider, the airplane, the helicopter, the tank, the robot, the gyroscope, the life preserver, the double-hulled boat, the parachute, and the crane. He foresaw marvels of engineering and industry. The world wouldn't begin to appreciate or develop until long after he was gone. 500 plus years later, the scope of what this quintessential Renaissance man envisioned is hard to fathom. When asked for the secret of his genius, Da Vinci would characteristically respond with the phrase that he conceived and adopted as his personal motto, which is sapere vedere. Repeat after me, sapere vedere. No, you gotta do it with the Italian accent. Sapere vedere. Oh man, you guys are terrible. That's all right. We'll work on the Italian accent. For now, sapere vedere is how we would say it. The phrase actually combines the Latin sapere, which means knowing how, with vedere, which means to see. So sapere vedere means knowing how to see. And then Kevin continues. Sapere vedere is knowing how to see. It transposes the saying, seeing is believing, to believing is seeing. People with sapere vedere look forward as well as inward. I want you to think about that for a minute. They look forward as well as inward. Jael was a beautiful example of someone that was willing with me to look inward so that she could look forward. Kevin says they are capable of believing and seeing what others don't. Da Vinci understood that we truly see with our brain first. If you're taking notes, this may be something you write down. The first time I read this in his book, it just blew my mind. We see with our brain first, our heart second, and then our eyes. Our brain first, our heart second, and then our eyes. I want you to ponder that for a moment. I'm going to ask you a question. If there's someone that wants to unmute themselves on Zoom, that would be cool. I'd love to hear from you. If not, we'll take a participant in the room. I want to ask this. How is it that we're able to see something with our heart? Usually we talk about a heart as a place where we feel. How do we see something with our heart? What do you think he means by that? I'd love someone to unmute themselves on Zoom or to speak up in our classroom there. How do we see something with our heart?
Like how you're feeling about something. When you see something, you have a feeling about it.
That's beautiful. Will you say that one more time so we can hear it again?
When you see something, how you feel about it is how you see with your heart.
I love that. We truly do project things from our emotions, which allow us to visually see things, not as they are, but as we are. And so Stephen Covey actually said in one of his books, The Divine Center, that we do not see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So we first see with our brains, second our heart, and then our eyes. Kevin continues, knowing how to see is crucial to living a life of significance. It enables us to focus on what we want to see happen instead of focusing on what we don't want to see happen. That goes back to what we talked about last time. I'm going to read that again. It enables us to focus on what we want to see happen instead of what we don't want to see happen. You guys are smart. If I'm looking back, tell me this, if I'm looking back while riding my mountain bike and I'm moving away from my starting line, how successful will I be in achieving the finish line? Not at all, because wherever our focus goes, our energy flows, and wherever energy is flowing, that's where things are growing. We get what we focus on. And too often, as Jael and I discovered together on our coaching call, we are moving away from the negative emotions and limiting beliefs that we don't want, rather than focusing on what we do want to see happen. People, Kevin continues, with sapere vedere say, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Oh, sorry. People without sapere vedere say, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Those with sapere vedere say, I'll see the bridge before I cross it. Sapere vedere is three-dimensional, a combination of hindsight, seeing behind us, foresight, what's coming ahead of us, and then insight, what's in here. As Miles Monroe writes in his book, and if you don't know who Miles Monroe is or what the book is, it's called The Principles and Power of Vision. This is a new one that I have recently discovered, and it's phenomenal. Let me show you a picture of Miles. Here we go. Here's what Miles said. Sight is a function of the eyes, vision is a function of the heart. Vision sets you free from the limitations of what the eyes can see and allows you to enter into the liberty of what the heart can feel. Never let your eyes determine what your heart believes. One more time. Sight is a function of the eyes, vision is a function of the heart. Vision sets you free from the limitations of what the eyes can see and allows you to enter into the liberty of what the heart can feel. Never let your eyes determine what your heart believes. Okay. Now, I am by trade and education, I am a teacher. I have a master's degree in curriculum design and instruction, and I started out in the classroom for 6 years working with teenage kids. And I am not I'm going to stand up here and deliver a message and tell you what you need to know. I want to engage with someone like I did JL last time. Is there a vulnerable, and I'm going to be easy. I mean, what JL and I did last week, that was tough stuff. Today will be easy. Is there a volunteer that would be willing to engage with me for about 5 or 10? Oh, she's already raising her hand. She's like, I am ready. Okay. Tell me your name.
Dia.
Dia, spelled D-I-E-H, correct?
That's good.
Thank you, Sammy Hartley, for telling me how to spell her name in chat. Sammy, you are awesome. Dia, I'm going to ask you to come up to the front of the room and you're going to sit with this leadership team of yours and we're going to do some coaching together. Everyone give her a hand. This is awesome. Yes, Dia. By the way, does everyone have a cool name in Portland? We got Dia, we got JL. Like, how do you find these people, Dwight? These are great people. I'm so grateful for your willingness to do some coaching with me, Dia. All right.
Zoom in on Dia.
Oh yeah, there we go. We got Dia. She is here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, Dia. Dia, thank you for your courage.
No worries.
Do you know the roots of the word courage? Do you know where that comes from? What language? Have you ever heard about this before? Courage. Courage comes from the French word coeur, which means heart. So when you are being courageous, you're coming from a place of your heart. And as Stephen Covey reminded us that it's our heart that is the function of where vision comes from. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for having courage, from coming from a place of heart today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. By the way, I love your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
Can I, if I ever come to Portland, can I borrow them or we can swap? They're so great. I love them. Dia.
Yes.
Let's pretend like you and I and maybe all these people in this room and on Zoom, let's pretend like we're having a conversation in a year from now. And in a year from now, I ask you, I say, Dia, how's this last year been? And you look at me through those awesome glasses that are just beautiful with on your face. And you say to me, you say, Andrew, this last year I'm not even kidding, it's been the best year of my life. And I say, what, are you kidding? Like, that's awesome. Congratulations. And then I ask you, what happened for you? What happened that made this the best year of your entire life? What will you say in response to my question a year from now that has made this the best year of your life, Dia?
The best thing was I stepped on all my fear
and did what I was afraid of doing recently.
Wow. Holy cow, that's deep. What did that look like for you this past year, Dia?
Awful.
Dia, you and I are speaking on October 18th, 2023.
Okay.
Okay. And I just asked you how this last year was, and you said it was the best year of your life. And I said, what made it so great? And you said, I stepped on all my fears. And then I said, what did that do for you? What was that like for you? And you say,
I said what I said, I don't remember.
what was that like for you?
I stepped on all my fear and did what I thought I couldn't do it.
And now, having done all of that, what does that mean for you now?
It means success.
And why is it so important for you to feel like you're having that kind of success?
Because I'm a mother of 2 children, 2 young children, and I need to be a role model for them. So it is very important for me to be successful so I can teach my children to be successful.
There we go. Now everybody is hearing your heart, and they have a vision of what success looks like for you. Did you guys catch how fast we got there? She knows exactly what her vision is. It's her 2 children. How old are your children, Dia?
5 and 7.
And what are their names?
Aryan and Ryan.
Aryan and Ryan?
Yes.
Those are beautiful names.
Thank you.
I am catching a part of this vision. And we now understand. You're getting teary, aren't you? Right?
Yeah.
And tell me what those tears are. What is that about for you?
It's just what I've been going through.
Mm-hmm. And you know how hard you're working for them, and they have no idea, do they?
No.
They don't have a clue.
No, they don't.
What they're going to see, though, is a model of success. And then when they're in their mid-20s or their 30s, they're going to talk with a coach someday, like Marcus is me, and they're going to learn some things about their parents that are really awesome. They're going to learn to respect and love you in a way that won't pay off dividends for probably another 20 years. Are you okay with that? Okay. All right. And that's what parenting is. It's insanity. We invest, and the whole time the investment looks like it's going down and that we're going to lose everything. And then magic happens. They're called grandbabies, I hear. I'm not quite there yet, but I hear that they're called grandbabies. It's magic. Dia, I love your heart.
Thank you.
I love your courage. And I love your vision. And I want to ask you a couple more questions. Are you willing to hang with me for just a little bit longer?
Why not?
Okay. So remember, it's October 18th, 2023. You and I are talking. What does this mean? What does this mean in terms of possibilities now for your future? That you've had like your best year ever and you stepped on all those fears. What does this mean for the possibilities in your future?
It means that I will never stop learning and I would never stop doubting myself.
Why not?
Because I get where I wanted to be in the last year.
Exactly. And if you can do what you just did for this last year, then certainly you can do anything that this next year throws in front of you, can't you? Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got some affirmation there. Yeah, absolutely. Hell yes, you can. I love that. Dia, thank you for your courage, your vulnerability. If you would like, I would like to grant you the same gift that I granted to JL, and we can spend 45 minutes together sometime here in the next week or 2. And she's like, hey, listen, I don't guarantee that this is going to happen to everybody that volunteers, but it might. Let's give Dia a big round of applause. That was so great. Thank you. You are wonderful. So good. Okay, now I would like to invite each of you, as I share my screen here, I would like to invite each of you to do something similar. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you are welcome to. If you want to write this down really fast, you can. I'm going to read this journal prompt. And the journal prompt says this: it is now October 18th, 2023, and I'm in awe looking back on this past year. I'm so grateful that Dia said, I stepped on all of my fears. Here's what this has meant for me. And you're able to journal and share what this has meant for you. Here's what this has meant for my family. And if you don't have a family, well, that's not true, because somebody brought you into this world. And even if they're dead, it's still going to mean something to them, I promise. Here's what this means for our future. Just as Dia shared with us, it means that she can do anything now. And I can't wait for next year at this time, October 18th, 2024, when I'll be celebrating blank. Now, I want to give you about 60 to 90 seconds. If you want to jot some of this down, you can. At the very least, I want you to think about it. And as you're thinking about it, if you can, and you're not writing, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. If you're driving, please leave your eyes open. Do not want to be responsible for any Portland disasters. So I'm going to take 60 to 90 seconds. If you want to write this, great. If you're not writing it, I invite you to just close your eyes and envision from your mind's eye as well as your heart what this feels like. Here we go. It is now October 18th, 2023, and I'm in awe. Looking back on this past year, I'm so grateful that here's what this has meant for me. And here's what this has meant for my family. And lastly, here's what this means for our future. And I can't wait for next year at this time, October 2024, when I'll be celebrating. Okay, I invite you to save this. You can screenshot it. I'm sure that Austin would be happy to send this out to everybody in a follow-up email so that you can have it as well. And I invite you to take what we just did and spend a little bit more time with this. Now, I can share with you how I've seen this come to pass in my life. And yet I know that there's someone here with us today, again, if it's on Zoom or in the room, that would love to share how they have done this and created from their heart a vision that actually manifested and that is now enjoying the fruits of this internal work today. Who would be willing to share how they have seen this process produce brilliant results in their life? I'm very patient. I'd love a Zoom participant if there's someone on Zoom that would be willing to jump in.
Awesome, you're just volunteering.
Think of, we did last year, we did our vision boards, and that kind of ties into that too.
Hey, Andrew, I have a story.
Tell us a story, right?
My wife did a vision board about 3 years ago. And I she was with a group of friends and they created these vision boards. I'm not quite sure the origin of the process, but she came home with this vision board. And I started talking to her about the things that she wanted in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, right? And so they involved traveling more because our kids have left the house. And, you know, that was a promise that we made to each other when the kids left the house, because I've always worked very, very hard and she worked very, very hard to raise our 4 boys. And it also included buying a second property in Sun River, which kind of surprised me. I mean, we've always talked about it, but it kind of surprised me that that was a firm vision. So I set it upon myself to help her achieve or work with her to achieve these goals. And so it turned out really fortunately that a property that we both agreed we'd want to own came up in Central Oregon during COVID. And so for the first time in our lives, we've always saved for our kids and, you know, and invested for the future. For the first time in our lives, we did that. And I was absolutely in shock how excited she is every time she goes over there. And as the way she describes it is, as soon as she goes through the gate or sees the gate to our property over there at Sun River, she just has this calm that enters her body, like she's, you know, gone to paradise, right? And she kind of leaves the Portland worries behind, which is pretty nice. And so that was part of her vision board, and it was very smart of me to help her achieve her vision board, right? So, and then it included some other things like traveling, which we have agreed to do. So it all started with those goals, I'm sure, which is how she created her vision board. And I joined her for the journey, I would say, put it that way. And so she is feeling very good about herself and where we're at in terms of achieving things that we had discussed through our marriage.
That's incredible. So Dwight, if I can just follow up with one quick question.
No. I'm not picking these questions.
Don't worry, I'll offer 45 minutes to spend with you as well. Dwight, what do you now know is possible that maybe you didn't know before that experience?
Well, I don't really know how to answer that. I think what is possible that I didn't realize is literally every single time we're there, she reminds me of how she just feels like she's walking into paradise. You know, at home we're in our hurricane and we're dealing with family issues, you know, on her side right now, and health issues and all kinds of things between the two families and our relatives. And I think she just leaves that all behind, which means a happier vacation. And I never realized that would happen for her. Literally, it's like so visual, and she says it every time, every single time.
And you made some vows when you married her, and you know, you had all these great hopes and dreams. And when she's able to step into that paradise, if I were you, I would feel like I am the freaking man. I mean, I'm helping her, helping her be a queen. I'm helping her to be and do and have all the things that I vowed I would help her with. Dwight, thank you so much. That is a powerful story. I want to share one more powerful story.
Can I interrupt you for one moment? I just want to say this because this is our mission for you people.
Yes.
Right? That's why we're all doing this. Your leadership is all engaged in helping change your lives. And I was able to do that with great leadership and influence in my life. Build wealth by owning real estate.
Yeah.
And that wealth turned into a vacation home. So sorry, that's how I have to say that, because that's why we're here, right?
Yes. That's exactly why we're here. So I want to share one more story. This is John Vandergiesen. I met John in Bold 8.5 years ago. He wasn't even in real estate. I was a brand new agent. John has become one of my greatest friends, and he's been a coaching client of mine for 6.5 years now. If you can't tell, John has large hands. Yes, twins are small, but those twins are 6.5 and 7.5 pounds, which are full-size babies. Wow. And John's hands could palm my head. In fact, my wife sometimes says, I'm going to call John right now. I'm going to have him come palm you, because she thinks that that would be funny. Those are two little baby boys. John, and more importantly, his wife, helped bring into this world. And I didn't know this until later. Here we go. Let's see. Can you guys see this picture?
Mm-hmm.
John put twin boys on his vision board before they ever got pregnant. They also didn't have an ultrasound because they didn't want to find out what gender the baby was until it was born. And they're also crazy people like my wife and I, and they do home births. And they actually didn't know they were having twins until she went into labor.
Wow.
And John and Lisa Vandergiesen now enjoy beautiful twin boys. You can't make this stuff up.
Mhm.
I'm not kidding. Okay, I think I just lost my video. We will go. Can you guys see me?
Yep.
Okay, good. You can see me. You can't make this stuff up. It comes from the heart, and it comes in ways that we can't really understand. And whether you call that the quantum field or the universe, or you call it God, you can't make this stuff up. So I want to do one last thing here. Let's see. I want you to ponder this question. And the question is, what am I not asking for? Maybe it's twins, maybe it's a second home. What am I not asking for, which if I were to receive, it would have a massive impact on my life mission? What am I not asking for, which if I were to receive, it would have a massive impact on my life mission? This question came out of a coaching call that I had with my coach when things were great, and I figured we were done and life was beautiful, and I was ready to end the coaching call, and he said, hey, one last question, Andrew. He pulled out what we call the magic wand. We could wave a magic wand over your life right now, and if you could just have one more thing, what would it be? And I took that question that he asked me, and I turned it into this question. And I said, so what you're asking me is, what am I not asking for, which if I were to receive it, it would have a massive impact on my life mission? He said, yes. And then instantly, one person and another person and another outcome came into my mind from that space that Napoleon Hill calls a third mind, a master mind. I call it God. Some people call it the quantum field, universal intelligence, says Joe Dispenza. And I had an idea, and I journaled about it, just like I invited you guys to journal about this. And I'm allowing the how to figure itself out. And I promise you that when you come from a place of heart and you truly identify, just like Dia did today, those two beautiful children of hers, her life mission, she knows what she needs. It's to step on that fear. And because she was vulnerable and courageous enough today to raise her hand and ask for some help, she's going to get it. And I'm going to spend some time with you, Dia. And all of you deserve to ask for the things that will massively impact your life mission as well. And if you're not, then you're playing small. And even if we are small, like our children, we deserve to be able to raise our sights and achieve new heights. And if you would love to chat with me about how I do that with my clients, then please reach out. There's my phone number, there's my email address, and there's my my website, coachwithandrew.com. It's an embedded command. The name of my website is an embedded command, coachwithandrew.com. It's very intentional. Again, let's give another round of applause to Dia, to Dwight. Thank you for allowing me to be here. We saw so many great things today. And then I am looking forward, I get to spend one more time with you in November. This has been a privilege. I'm falling in love with the people of Portland. Thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you guys today.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you,
Andrew. We
Andrew.
really appreciate you. And I love your approach to all of this, right? We talk about business and business coaching so much, but if we aren't clear on our vision and our goals and why we're working, we're not going to be successful. So I think it's a really good reminder to think of all this. And especially this time of year, we're going to be doing vision boards again. We're going to be doing our business planning goals for next year. And so it's a good time to think of all this, of where do you really want to be and where do you see yourself? So thank you so much, Andrew, for that reminder. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.